James Cameron is not having it easy with Ocean Gate and its, CEO Stockton Rush, who unfortunately have made 5% life misplaced. Well, there's more in this report. This is the literature of Pinax News. This is the hub for quality entertainment. Well, let's get into the very sad story that has been trending and making people very livid. That's because Ocean, Gate has also issued a statement relaying the information that these 5 passengers who unfortunately have met the untimely death were aware about the disaster or the catastrophe ahead of them, but they chose to also, choose to go on this interesting adventure. Meanwhile, the movie producer and of course, seasoned, industry person, I'm talking about James Cameron, is also lashing hard at the CEO of the company and also the company itself. Well, let's take a listen. Well, he also is an expert in that particular field, which also has seen so many interactions or reactions by people after 5 passengers have been reported that after they actually went on an adventure on this interesting submersible, adventure by Ocean Gate. Let's take a listen once again at James Cameron. We come back and see how Ocean Gate also responded to this.
Well, I've been down there many times. I know the wreck site very well, as does my friend Bob Ballard. I've been made 33 dives. I actually calculated that I've spent more time on the ship than the captain did back in the day. And of course, as a submersible designer myself, I designed and built a sub to go to the deepest place in the ocean, 3 times deeper than Titanic. So I understand the engineering problems associated with building this type of vehicle and all the safety protocols that you have to go through. This is a mature art, and many people in the community were very concerned about this sub, and a number of the top players in the deep submergence engineering community even wrote letters to the company saying that what they were doing was too experimental to carry passengers and that needed to be certified and so on. So I'm struck by the similarity of the Titanic disaster itself, where the captain was repeatedly warned about ice ahead of his ship, and yet he steamed at full speed into an ice field on a moonless night, and many people died as a result. And for a very similar tragedy where warnings went unheeded to take place at the same exact site, with all the diving that's going on all around the world, I think it's just astonishing. It's really quite surreal. And of course, P.H. Nargeolet, the French legendary submersible dive pilot, a friend of mine. It's a very small community. I've known PH for 25 years. For him
Was James Cameron over there, who of course is quite livid about the sad incident that happened. It's taking everyone by surprise, and of course, very emotional over there. Meanwhile, the company, that is Ocean Gate, has issued a statement, and of course, have made it point clear that it is disassociating itself from this rather, rant that people have taken so interesting on social media, calling out the company. Well, it has issued a statement which actually indicates exactly that these people who partook or took, part of this adventure. I'm talking about the adventure over there with the Titanic. They have actually, this is actually a form that shows that or proves that indeed every single passenger who boarded this particular Titanic was aware of the consequences he or she was getting into. So this is what it wrote, quite a very lengthy, letter over there. So this is a release of liability agreement. So it's more like an agreement form that you sign and make yourself aware about the particular adventure you will be taking. So quite a very lengthy one. Let me actually summarize or read some portions for you. It says, so I, then you fill your name there, acknowledge that I have, voluntarily applied to participate in the submersible operation arranged by Ocean Gate Expeditions Limited, a company registered in the Bahamas. I have been informed about the nature of the operations and risk it presents, including that one, The operation includes activities involving subsurface vessels, surfaces vessels, and or it goes on to say remotely operated vehicles that are on, near, or under the water. Point two, a portion of the operation will be conducted inside an experimental submersible vessel. The experimental submersible vessel has not been appeared or approved or certified by any regulatory body and may be constructed of materials that have not been widely used in humans occupied submersible. Now, point three says that when diving below the ocean surface, these vessels will be subject to extreme pressure, and any failure of the vessels while aboard could cause severe injury or death. I understand that I may decline to participate in any dive below the ocean surface or any activity of the operations at any time. Now, point four goes on to say that support vessels, upon which I may aboard, are industrial vessels that are, special, specifically, is designed for passengers operations and present many hazards including so it's quite a very lengthy message. Unfortunately, I'm unable to read all of that, but this exactly is the release. So it's quite a three-page letter. So one, two, and three, a page over there. That's a very interesting release by Ocean Gate, who of course have made it very clear that these people who were on this particular Titanic, ocean, trying to have an adventure over there, were aware of the consequences. But unfortunately, took time to also go on the adventure, and so they are not going to take the blame for this. Well, quite very pathetic over there. But let's see how it goes. Unfortunately, five passengers have been confirmed dead. May their soul rest in peace. Let's go to social media and see what most of you have been saying about this after this rather sad release, of course, and also the blast from James Cameron, who says we should also blame this, uh, uh, the company, that's Ocean Gate, and its CEO. Well, Karen comes to say, I mean, he isn't wrong, but no one forced the others to go. I do wonder if they knew how many corners he cut and how obviously it wasn't safe. Would they still had risk going? Well, I think your point is really valid because Ocean Gate has, issued a statement exactly detailing what happened and the concerns, by people. Alicia comes to say, I agree with him. Stockton, cat corners and fired folks who kept telling him the thing wasn't safe. Now he gets to permanently live with the Titanic. I am extremely sorrowful for the other families, though. Elizabeth comes to say there is really good psych. Okay, site on YouTube who has been accurate about a lot of things. She did a reading either yesterday or the day before and said that she was getting to everyone who passed away. Okay, so she said that she was feeling a lot of pain in her head, and okay, so I'm sure you're actually talking about someone who had a disillusion or something over there. Okay, but thanks for your comment, Elizabeth. Sharad comes to say that the blame game has started. Condolences to the family of these or those who perished. Okay, well, not so much of a blame game, but James Cameron is just letting out his heart out, and of course, is also contributing to this interesting story. Now, Mashia comes to say he's not wrong. There have been so many accounts from people who had involvement in testing, that were passengers, etc. That said, there were warning signs previously about it. Well, unfortunately, for those of you who were trying so hard to also get yourself involved about this sad story that has happened, I mean, as at Sunday, this is what we had that was happening, and of course, authorities were very, brisk about it. And it turns out that unfortunately, they actually couldn't save a life, or five persons have lost their lives. Well, may their soul rest in peace. Thanks for watching.